Yasya prasada Bhagavaprasada Yasya prasada nanargati gatobi Dayastritvam stasya yasastrisandam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Namah Om Vishnupadaya Vishnavrishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namah Om Vishnupadaya Vishnavrishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Bhagavani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatyane Satarine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatyane Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tagora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitagora Hari Bol, Nitagora Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitagora Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitagora Hari Bol, Nitagora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitagora Hari Bol, Nitagora Premanande ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvaja ki Chasta Tarasata Rishi Srimad Srimad Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajagatcha Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Lantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikahosh Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samkunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Ganga Maya Ki Jai Jamuna Maya Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the Sum of Devotees, all glories to the Sum of Devotees, all glories to the Sum of Devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavana Ki Jai.
हिरण्याकाशी पूर्वक्षः शीलटङ्कारनकालाय शीलटङ्कारन ईतोन सिंह परतोन सिंह ईतोन सिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंह बहिर्नृसिंह हृदयनृसिंह बहिर्नृसिंह नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं तव करकमलवरे नखम् अद्भुतशृङ्गाम् ललिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल वरे नखम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी जय भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि
नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो हे अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो हे अभिलाषी যে তোমার শরণ লয় তারা বাঞ্ছা পূর্ণ হয় কৃপা করি করো তারে বৃন্দাবনবাসী মোরা এই অভিলাষ বিলাস কুঞ্জে দিও বাস নয়নে হেরিব সদা যুগল রূপ রাশি এই নিবেদন ধরো সখীর অনুগাত করো সেবাধিকার দিয়ে করো নিজ দাসী বিনা কৃষ্ণ দাসে কো এই যেন মোরা হয় শ্রী রাধা গোবিন্দ প্রেমে সদা যেন ভাসি শ্রী রাধা গোবিন্দ প্রেমে সদা যেন ভাসি यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे जय वृंदे जय वृंदे जय वृंदे जय वृंदे जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
तुलसी देवी महारानी की जय। वृंदाये तुलसी देवा प्रिय वैश्य विष्णु भक्ति परिदेवी सचवत नमो नमः। वृंदाये तुलसी देवा प्रिय वैश्य विष्णु भक्ति परिदेवी सचवत नमो नमः। वृंदाये तुलसी देवा प्रिय वैश्य विष्णु भक्ति परिदेवी सचवत नमो नमः। Govindai, Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Oh, obtain the service. Wouldn't take shelter of you as much as you did. Bestowing your mercy upon me and make you a resident of Vrindavan. My desire is that you also grant me a residence in the pleasure groves of Shri Vrindavan. Thus, within my vision, I will always behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd dances of Raja. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maidservant. This very fallen, lowly servant of Krishna prays. May all swimming love. Shri Radha and Govinda Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Chaito Darpanam Arjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Chairakai Ravya Chandrika Vitarunam Vidya Vadhu Jivanam Anantam Mudivardhanam Pratipradam Purnam Vitasvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Saktis Tatra Pita Niyamitak Smarani Nakala Etadrisita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Drisi Samiha Janina Anuraga Chanadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Saisnana Amanina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamayam Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahai Taki Twai Ai Nandata Junjakin Karam Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Padapankajastita Dulisadvisam Vichintaya Nayanam Gadasrudharaya Vadanam Gadgadrudaya Jira Pulakaya Nisitam Vapu Kada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayitam Nimesena Chaksusapa Vrisaitam Sunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Aslisya Vapadaratam Pinastumam Adasaranam Mahato Karotuva Yata Tata Vavidadatu Lampato Mat Prananatastu Saeva Naparaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon, is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar, for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to the living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotion, service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death, and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? When will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your holy name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Siksastakam Ki Jai. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy names that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicated their lives to propagating the holy names of the Lord. 2. To consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna as imagination. 6. To give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord. 8. To consider chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities of karma kanda. 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions in this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let's offer a most humble obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They're just like desired trees that can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they're full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo namo namaha Vaishnava Thakur ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Grantaraj ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadasya yata nivayat itaratas chartesu avidya swarat. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adhikavaye Muyanti Yatsurayaha. Tejo Vari Mudam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Misha Damna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dimahi. O my Lord Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, from my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the prime cause of all causes, primeval cause of all causes, of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. He is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. As one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen on fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Dharma projita kaitovotra parama nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastuvam atmavastu shivadam tapa trayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim va parir ishvaraha sadyo hridya varudyate tra kriti bihi susru subhis tatsanat. completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within the heart. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, verse number 12. We'll do number 11. This is speaking about Maharaj Parikshit. He was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength, and he possessed insuperable kingly opulences. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There was nothing undesirable in his life. He was quite a young man and could enjoy life with power and opulence. So there was no question of retiring from active life. There was no difficulty in collecting the state taxes because he was so powerful and chivalrous that even his enemies would come to him and bow down at his feet and surrender all wealth for their own benefit. Maharaj Parikshit was a pious king. He conquered his enemies, and therefore the kingdom was full of prosperity. There was enough milk, grains, and metals, and all the rivers and mountains were full of potency. So materially everything was satisfactory. Therefore there was no question of untimely giving up his kingdom and life. The sages were eager to hear about all this. Text number 12. Those who are devoted to the cause of the personality of Godhead live only for the welfare, development, and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interests. So even though the emperor, Parikshit, was free from all attachment to worldly possessions, how could he give up his mortal body, which was shelter for others? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Parikshit Maharaj was an ideal king and householder because he was a devotee of the personality of Godhead. A devotee of the Lord automatically has all good qualifications, and the emperor was a typical example of this. Personally, he had no attachment for all the worldly opulences in his possession. But since he was king for the all-around welfare of his citizens, he was always busy in the welfare work of the public, not only for this life, but also for the next. He would not allow slaughterhouses or killing of cows. He was not a foolish and partial administrator who would arrange for the protection of one living being and allow another to be killed. Because he was a devotee of the Lord, he knew perfectly well how to conduct his administration for everyone's happiness. Men, animals, plants, and all living creatures. He was not selfishly interested. Selfishness is either self-centered or self-extended. He was neither. His interest was to please the Supreme Truth, personality of Godhead. The king is the representative of the Supreme Lord, and therefore the king's interest must be identical with that of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord wants all his living beings to be obedient to him and thereby become happy. Therefore the king's interest is to guide all subjects back to the kingdom of God. Hence, the activities of the citizens should be so coordinated that they can, at the end, go back home, back to Godhead. Under the administration of a representative king, the kingdom is full of opulence. At that time, human beings need not eat animals. There are ample food, grains, milk, fruit, and vegetables, so that the human beings as well as the animals, can eat sumptuously and to their heart's content. If all living beings are satisfied with food and shelter and obey the prescribed rules, there cannot be any disturbance between one living being and another. Emperor Parikshit was a worthy king, and therefore all were happy during his reign. During the construction of the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, there was a question about the tamala tree that was in the compound. And Prabhupada insisted that the devotees don't cut it down. So they made everything, they built the temple, but they didn't cut down the tree, which is inside the temple. And so that's an example of not unnecessarily harming any living entity, including the plants, such as trees. And he says, Maharaj Parikshit knew perfectly well how to conduct his administration for everyone's happiness, men, animals, plants, and all living creatures. He was not selfishly interested. Selfishness is either self-centered or self-extended. So self-centered means oneself. Self-extended means one's family, one's immediate family, one's extended family, one's further extended family, such as one's ethnicity, and then further expanded as one's nationality, and further expanded to include all living beings. So these are all selfish goals. His interest was to please the supreme truth, personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada says that when you have a saintly king like that, and the king's interest is to guide the subjects back to Godhead, under such an administration of a representative king, the kingdom is full of opulence, naturally. Nature is opulent. At that time, human beings need not eat animals. There are ample food, grains, milk, fruit, and vegetables, so that the human beings, as well as the animals, can eat sumptuously and to their heart's content. Yeah, whatever we don't eat, we give to the animals. So all the clippings and cuttings from the kitchen and any leftover food are served to the animals. There are ample food, grains, milk, fruit, and vegetables, so that the human beings as well as the animals can eat sumptuously and to their heart's content. If all living beings are satisfied with food and shelter and obey the prescribed rules, there cannot be any disturbance between one living being and another. So that's the secret. That is, if all living beings are satisfied with food and shelter and obey the prescribed rules, there cannot be any disturbance between one living being and another. Emperor Parikshit was a worthy king, and therefore all were happy during his reign. So this being satisfied with food and shelter and following the prescribed rules, that's the formula. So whether one lives in the temple, there's food and shelter, and following the rules. Or if one lives outside the temple. See, some people say, I can't be satisfied with food and shelter only. And rules, why should I follow? The only rule I follow is that I'm number one. That's the only rule I follow. So there's going to be a lot of strife with such consciousness. But if we're satisfied with food and shelter and following the rules, then there's not going to be any problems at all. And people will get along with each other because they don't want more than that. Food, shelter, and following the rules. As soon as we want more, then we can't stay in the temple. And so we stay outside. We have to buy a house, have to buy a car, I have to buy a washing machine, I have to buy a dryer, I have to buy a toaster, I have to buy this thing, I have to buy that thing. Okay, that's fine, but you should make your house a temple. If you don't make your house a temple, then no matter how big the house is, no matter how much money you have, you'll never be completely satisfied. Always be hankering for more and more and more things. So which is better? Being satisfied with food and shelter and following the rules, or never being satisfied no matter how much you own? Huh? Yeah, definitely. Verse number 13. We know that you are expert in the meaning of all subjects, except some portions of the Vedas, and thus you can clearly explain the answers to all the questions we have just put to you. This is interesting. Let's see what the exception is. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The difference between the Vedas and the Puranas is like that between the Brahmanas and the Parirajakas. The Brahmanas are meant to administer some fruitive sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas, but the Parirajakas, Parivajakacharyas, here, over here is Parirajakas, and then it says Parivajakacharyas, or learned preachers, are meant to disseminate transcendental knowledge to one and all. As such, the Parivajakacharyas are not always expert in pronouncing Vedic mantras. That's what it means. Which are practiced systematically by accent and meter by the Brahmanas, who are meant for administrating Vedic rites. Yet it should not be considered that the Brahmanas are more important than the itinerant preachers. They are one and different simultaneously because they are meant for the same end in different ways. There is no difference also between the Vedic mantras and what is explained in the Puranas and Itihasas. The Itihasa means Mahabharata and other histories. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, it is mentioned in the Madhyandina Shruti that all the Vedas, namely the Sama, Atharva, Rig, Yajur, Puranas, Itihasas, Upanishads, etc., are emanations from the breathing of the Supreme Being. The only difference is that the Vedic mantras are mostly begun with pranava omkara, meaning om, and it requires some training to practice the metric pronunciation of the Vedic mantras. But that does not mean that Srimad Bhagavatam is of less importance than the Vedic mantras. On the contrary, it is the ripened fruit of all the Vedas, as stated before. Besides that, the most perfectly liberated soul, Srila Sukadeva Goswami, is absorbed in the studies of the Bhagavatam, although he is already self-realized. Srila Sutta Goswami is following his footsteps, and therefore his position is not the least less important because he was not expert in chanting Vedic mantras with metric pronunciation, which depends more on practice than actual realization. Realization is more important than parrot-like chanting. Wow. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, Grantaraj Ki Jai. Are there any questions? No questions, then no answers, and we will begin. We'll stop there. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol.